this thing out to politics into radio. I think it's very wrong.
Phone ya ya disturb and ha o bereke mona a sore ba o nyaka. Na setse re tlwaetse o sokola.
Every time I see talent that is being attacked,
SABC victimized you.
if we don't counterattack the social media, it will be the end of radio.
You were talking about this boy. Shebe.
That's why also cappuccino when I eat about Peter Kofi. I had issues.
Bakubiwa.
Mukubiwa interview Mukubiwa.
Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino.
Welcome to another episode of Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino. I'm your host, DJ Cappuccino, also known as Fortune Maswanganyi, son of Gezani. In the studio, we have Kwenisto Makgakga, who is a multifaceted individual known for his role as a radio personality, event organizer, philanthropist, motivational speaker, community builder, and an author. His diverse contribution and involvement in various fields, highlighting his commitment to making a positive impact on society, whether through his voice on radio, his efforts in organizing events, his philanthropic activities, motivational speaking engagements, community building initiatives, or his written work. Kwenisto Makgakga has established himself as a significant figure in these fields. He calls himself the creator of influencers. He says he's not an influencer. Kwenisto, welcome to Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino. Ay, forget man. Sifamba kahle man.
I can't.
Ilekuzameni.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
You know, introducing a person like you, you're well known, everybody knows you. Mara, nikinyako reach kwa man. Kwa marao kwa.
Yeah.
Let's take it, maybe if you want the viewers to understand where you come from, Omang, Ujwakai. Let's take it there.
There's a very beautiful small village called Ramabilwani. It's a very small, you don't hear about it more often because where it is very, very difficult to be.
How many villages are there?
There's so many. Around, in Mulej we have got so many villages. Mulej is big. It's bigger than you can think. So we might be talking about over 300.
Yes.
Yeah, and those are the villages which actually, and it is still growing. There's a new one called Mutintia, and there's another one called Wulutsokwan. They are not that old. So you can tell Ormulech is a very big area. So that's where I come from. That's where I was born. That's where I was bred. Started my school there, and then matriculated in 2006 somewhere at Mulech Ramanamela. There's a school there, Bar Maserola. Then I went to University of Limpopo to study media and communication. And
let's not go that far yet.
Yeah.
Let's capture the foundational basis.
Okay.
How was the family structure around that time when you were in primary school, and what kind of person were you?
Yeah, just like any other black young man, you grow up in a situation where things are not together. The family is broken, and then your mom and your dad are not together. You grow up in that kind of pain and upbringing. And, I stayed with my father after their separation, and then that's him who really raised me. It was me and my older sister, who were 3.
Okay.
So there was a time where we didn't have a house at home. And when I say this, people think I'm exaggerating. When the motivational speakers will come and say, I started this company with 1 rice.
Yeah.
They think I am I'm talking about those things. And I'm talking reality that in 2000, the only house that we had collapsed. You remember the floods of 2000 where a girl in another country gave
Mozambique,
birth in Mozambique.
Pulled by a helicopter.
I was affected by those floods as well in the country. We lost our house. We had to move back to my grandfather's house.
Wait, that flood wiped everything?
Yes, houses were falling. And it was the biggest house that I knew at that time.
In your village?
In my house, at home.
Oh, like the hut?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I grew up in those environments. So you can imagine. My father died when I was in grade 10. So I had to fend for myself because my sister dropped so that we can eat at home. She had to drop out, and I continue with education so that we can fend each other. And when you pass grade 12 with flying colors, when others are celebrating next door, like pass 7 distinction, maybe don't pass a diploma, more pass age. Mara, the noise that they're making, when here you are alone, you can't even express your happiness because there is no one to celebrate with. So I grew up in those kind of environment until I went to University of Limpopo. That's where everything started taking shape.
But how did your family pull through, especially after losing that heart, losing a house? I mean, I know that when I grew up, our house burned down. We were only left with the clothes we were wearing at some point.
Yeah.
I still remember I was wearing this. You remember this BMX clothes?
Oh yeah.
And I went to school with the BMX clothes for about a week while we're trying to get uniform.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think it's actually as bad as yours because at least the resources were there for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, but how did you pull yourself through that incident, especially as a family?
No, you soldier on. What else can you do? You soldier on and then hoping that one day the sun will shine on you as well. Maybe things will be better. And you grow up as a boy child hoping that one day I'm going to be the solution to my family. And later on in life, my mom came back into my life. She's back at home.
Was she somewhere?
Yeah, remember they separated. Yeah, there was a divorce but afterwards we reconciled again. And I also started feeling the warmth of the love of a mother for the first time in many years. So just like any other young boy, any other black child, we are faced with many challenges in our families, and some of us, we don't talk often about them, and other people think their problems are more worse than ours. We have problems as well, but we can listen to a problem and just think, this person can I just, if I were to open up and tell you where we come from, how we fell, how we crawled and get back on our feet, it was not easy, and it will never be easy. So there is someone who thinks, they bought him Nike instead of Adidas. That is a problem to him, and he can't even, concentrate. Just stress, just because I'm feeling Nike instead of Adidas. Nice life problems. We have got problems, and we don't often talk about them. Yeah.
And your high school, how was it like? What kind of a boy were you? Were you the focused ones, naughty ones? Because I'm trying to capture and find out, where did this artist that I see in you come from? Where did this broadcaster, this entertainer, this person who can actually bring people together? Because I've seen in your events where you'll bring all these artists together and make sure they work together. And one thing that you are always preaching is unity amongst artists, collaborations and everything. What kind of a boy in high school were you?
Maybe if I can start at primary. At primary, I had to skip other grades because I was too smart. When I went to high school as well, my marks were always competing in that top 10. You always want to be in that top 10 because positions back then were very, very important. Unlike today where they just say you are passage and you don't know how number classic. So at that time we were competing with my peers in class to say, I want to be the best.
No,
Muchin.
What happened to you?
Me. I'm an academic. Just
Yeah.
that I don't talk much about academics because.
Yeah.
But I am very smart.
So you were those ones, the teacher's favorite. And
Yes.
They know that, why are you not like this one?
Yeah.
Why is understanding
Exactly.
Oh,
I was the favorite. You can call my teachers, and I was famous back then, even at high school, because every time there were activities, I would be the first one. I would be the MC. I would be the poet. I will do something. I will perform. I will make sure that I participate.
Exactly.
And that made me, known among my other learners as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to get, because I believe that who you are now, it must have started somewhere.
Yeah.
and there must be a route. I mean, I organized contests when I was in high school.
Wow.
We ran a club, Barke Paradise Youth Club. So we had all these people doing drama and everything. And I still remember that time we used to go, kids as we were, ask for parents who are to come and contest. Remember, we keep them safe for the whole night.
Exactly.
And that responsibility and everything. And then I'm thinking, that's where maybe the event thing is also coming from.
Exactly.
And all that.
And you always want to uplift somebody else in your community.
Yeah. So I can imagine what's ko University of Limpopo, nese something or necessarily easy. You must have had challenges. You never even dreamt of going to university because of the challenges at home, finance.
Exactly.
What happened in that process?
I was performing very well at school. So that as well into ke hard. You know, I was not number one in my class. Say, number two, number three at that time because I was in another stream and I wanted to do radio journalism.
You just wanted.
So that's why I didn't go to science. And you see, sometimes they will force us to choose science because
you are
what
bright.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I said no. I want to focus. If I can do well in languages, I'll be fine. My focus. I knew what I wanted to do. Or media the languages. So. And that was my strongest point. I would do well in those subjects and they will boost me. And then that's why I had an opportunity to go to varsity. Even though it was not easy because the first year you don't have a sponsor, it's NSFAS and blah, 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 blah.
Which year was it?
2007.
Yeah, but can you understand, like, when you went there, you had your results. Did you have money to register? What happened? What did you pull there?
That's a very painful story. It's a very painful story. I remember my sister gave me 50 rand to go and apply. Imagine, 50 rand from Munich. The taxi was around maybe 12 rand or 15 rand. I don't remember that much. From TEF to Polokwane is 10 rand.
And you haven't had a meal in the morning. You're hungry.
You have 50 rand. The change 50 rand.
And you're hungry.
You are hungry. You need to eat. You are on the queue with that form. When I get there, I don't have money, I don't have the sleep, but I didn't pay for the application form. The queue is long, they don't have your time. Kwasheshwa.
Wafisa.
Then the next. So what happened? This is a story that I always share. There was a woman who was coming, I think, after the guy that was after me. And then I submit. But no, I qualify.
The results?
Or I come up varsity. So Sanjay maybe
or go
college
upgrade.
and
Yeah.
So that woman saw what happened. And because I qualified, I was supposed to
You lie, man.
That's how I paid my application form.
And you didn't have a cell phone to take the numbers of that woman?
That time there's no cell phone. What happened? I didn't have the photos for that. Remember those applications?
Yeah, Carla, you put, yeah.
I don't have them. I had to go and I don't have money.
You don't afford them. They were 15 rand.
Yeah. Or Braga Spani. I asked him a job. The custom.
Then we organize.
Yeah. And then lining. It was not easy to get at University of Limpopo. So, and those are the stories of so many young people in the province, in the country.
And those are still challenges.
That challenges.
That you see.
Yeah.
Then you enter into the system, they register you. Did you stay on campus or off campus? What happened?
I was staying on campus, and on campus it was not easy because I had to pay for the room accommodation. There is this teacher who taught me primary, Mr. Manamel. May God bless him and give him more life. That man paid for my room, for my accommodation every month without fail.
When other kids were complaining about they haven't received their pocket monies, when you knew that thing is not coming?
Yeah, but you remember sometimes it would come late because he had children that were at vets sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to bother him that much because he has done so much already. you feel like,
So Mr. Manamela took it to like, I'm going to take this kid to school.
yes. But then sometimes you don't want to make him, you around a time, you know, you want to make him have peace. You know, it was not easy, but he was there and he will tell me, no, don't worry, anytime. But at any time, you don't want to abuse it as well. You sometimes will wish it, or hey, Munwa Batapelena, kitty chair, I saw wala the millions, and on Alabama vets. So that as well, it was not easy, but persevere. I remember one day there's this man who gave Mr. Mans. May his soul rest in peace. Sometimes you don't pay.
O tlhatlhore le ntho ya ho kubiwa. Yeah,
so you didn't pay. You have to leave. Yeah. So you come back from class. You are hungry. You are tired. You find your things outside, but they're not made. You don't have so many things. Just your 2 plates and 2 pots and what. It was easy to carry to the next destination. That's how you keep going throughout the year, if there's no money to pay.
And you know, we're laughing about this, but these things are happening now, where people don't have anything. I mean, I studied at the University of Limpopo. I've seen so many kids who are really struggling. And to a point where I think that's when I started to even think, before I could think about a trust that I have, that I actually put on pause now. I was helping a lot of students, trying to help where I can. And one of the most important things is food.
Yeah.
And you know how a girl child doesn't have school, doesn't have food to go school. There's so many things that can actually happen to her. And when just she's trying to secure that meal and everything. And then, Korki, wish people like you, especially who have experienced it, maybe something that you must start to think about. Just start a scheme that deals only with food. You can make a difference in many people's lives. I was commending the other one that I saw on Facebook, whereby Kadi exam they give kids a sandwich and coffee. You don't know how that sandwich will actually last the student and assist the student to have a very comfortable examination.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I can imagine how many times you went to bed hungry and trying to study.
Yeah.
But it was bad, right?
It was very bad.
Damn, you went through that, bro.
Yeah, man, it's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we are
And your academics, how did it go? Did you perform? Did you struggle? What was really happening?
Yeah, I was, you know, when you get to varsity, you are competing with the best of the best. So I was started to be an average student, but I was doing very well with my marks. I passed all my modules until I finished. So I never actually struggled. The only subject in struggle too much, nearly communication, the one that I'm actually struggling with. So communication, Mr. Nahel,
Was there Miss Lubingwa by then?
Yes, Mr.
Dr. Lubingwa now,
yes, Dr. Lubingwa. So I was struggling a lot with,
Wow.
with communication.
What was the problem? Was it the language or?
Yeah.
Because I found it very interesting. In fact, if there are sections I can still remember the communication, it's organizational communication.
Yeah.
Especially when it deals with marketing and PR. I can't forget the way they were presented, and I still use some of those things even in my present business right now.
That's great. That's great. That's great because, you know, I think maybe the language, because you come from a rural school and then now you have to think that English kaspedi, you know, I think it was a problem of language.
When you write, you must translate to Spedi.
Kaspedi, and
do it in Spedi, translate it
and
back.
Sometimes I did some I want straight, translation and so hey, the war. So you study twice. You study the language and then you study whatever they are teaching you. So it's difficult.
Then now entering radio.
Yeah.
The journey. How did it start?
My first year at varsity, I applied at Radio TEF. It was on the 20th of August when they called me. I was a field reporter, started as a field reporter, then transited to programming, from programming.
Did you want to do radio, like presenting, or
Yes.
you just wanted to work behind the scenes?
No, I just wanted to be on the mic. Yeah, I just wanted to be on the mic every time. So whenever I see the mic, I was going crazy every time. So the love of radio then developed from there. And then I was doing this show, the graveyard slot, but it was the biggest show on radio. So the love and the support of the people was just amazing. Growing up, people supporting something that you are not even yet good at, but they believe in you. They say you can do this. They keep on cheering on you. So that fueled my love and the passion. So I always wanted to do better and better and better and better. But I think something that worked very well for me is that my radio was not just in studio. My radio was a radio in action. I will go and practice everything that I teach people. If I say, let's give, I would go and make sure that a family gets a house. There's a family that opened their house this December. It's a disabled family. They're both blind. They didn't have a home. They just unveiled their first RDP house because we intervened. We said, government, here is the family. So we don't have money, but with the voice that we have, we can
You
actually
advocated for
yeah,
them.
you can advocate for somebody else. You don't need money actually to make difference in life. In actual fact, the most priceless things are the most important things. The one that we can't even buy with money. If you can offer people such things which you cannot buy them over the counter, that is something very beautiful.
That's really powerful, man. And the challenges that you met when you were at King Teflop radio station.
No, I was that energetic young man, and I'll go crazy sometimes. They fired me there as well.
They fired you.
Yes. I'm used to be fired.
What was it for?
I think I overslept. You are a student. You are a student. You are also working at the same time. Your show is at 3 a.m. It's the time of exam. You must balance the two things, and you need to remember you are there for that. So you can't neglect your studies at the expense of what you want to achieve. Rather, have something that you can be able to achieve whatever you wanted. So, but then, I was tired. I remember one morning I woke up, it was 6:30. I was like, fatigue. Yeah.
Then you came there. Who was the station manager by then?
Papi, Papi Mash?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my...
And he said, we can't deal with this. No warning, nothing.
I think because Kwenisto is an energetic character.
Yeah.
Always in trouble, and not necessarily because I do them intentionally. So sometimes the excitement and everything, they lead you to that, and then because of your character, you are that Fed Joe of Limpopo kind of. I don't know. Maybe you always have these views which are not normal to other people, and then you always find yourself in trouble.
Then what happened after your journey? After you got fired, which station?
No,
did you join?
they had to call me back because the listeners were giving them hard time. They were calling on shows, so we demand this guy now. And later on, yes, I came back. Then when I graduated, I had to know how to become a man, and then I went to work at Game Center. I was a cashier there, Game Polokwane. I was behind the desk, say checkers,
Cashier?
plastic.
Why were you not doing those announcing?
No, you are just new. You
Just want a job.
yeah, you just want a job, something that can give you money. So you suddenly working a trainee. So yeah, you are there, but you also achieve opportunity.
Then how did you get into SABC?
SABC, I've been to SABC for many times. I failed auditions many times. When they wanted people for 2010 commentators, I went they called me for an interview. I failed. I failed many interviews. When they were doing Soul Buddies, I failed those auditions.
Yeah.
I always tell young people that I failed many auditions in my life.
State. I'm first back. Yeah.
So yeah, and then yeah.
So I want to know which interview cracked it for you, or were you headhunted? What happened?
No, there were posts.
Yeah.
So I also applied as well, and then they called me for audition. I mean, for interview. And yeah, I remember when I got there, I was so excited, and they just gave me, the mic to say present for us, and that's where I think I killed it. And 2011, in May, 9 May, I joined Tobel FM. Yeah.
2011, I think that's the year I got fired from a radio station.
I know. Window
Got
side.
fired. Yeah, I got.
Why were you fired though?
I was out of order.
You're out of what?
Yeah, I was out of order. I take responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you go back?
No, I'm in a good space
Okay.
right now. I'm in a good space. I'm not much of a presenter, but I can actually hold a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all right. And then I'm glad because the fundamental principles that I learned from there, Shaba taught me radio.
Yeah.
He knows his way around radio. So it's what I'm still applying even now. I still apply it. I still prepare. I still have a script that I follow. Those things I learned at Capricorn FM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Shaba will reteach you radio.
I'll reteach you radio.
Yeah.
So now you enter into SABC. You started with which show?
The youth show. I did Musala Bokamu. So the show was not there. It was created when I arrived there. And because they said they wanted something youthful, and they thought I'm the good voice or the face of the show. So they gave me that opportunity. I think it was still under Tatilu Baramahor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it the only show you did there? What happened?
I did Party Time. I did this other show. But it was not just for too long. I think I was just standing in for someone. But others, the main shows that I did was the youth show and the Party Time show. Yeah. The Friday night shows. Yeah.
And to part with the station, can you just give us a story? What really happened?
Actually, I think
When I say what really happened, I'm trying for you to just avoid telling us, yeah, I did this, I got fired. But I also want you to give us the background, if it's possible, of many other incidents that led to that. Because if I were to come to your podcast,
Need to refresh and unwind? Come to Wild Things at Meropa Casino and Conference Center, where you get to enjoy quad bikes, swimming pools, water park, restaurants, kids games, reptile park, camping, birds park, and many other activities.
and you ask me what really got me fired at Capricorn FM, I was going to tell you a story why. But now it's my show.
Okay.
I can't tell you.
But I think I've said this enough. And in many interviews that I've done, I've always maintained that I think the situation could have been handled much better than the way everything unfolded, unfortunately. But, if there's one thing that people must understand, and currently, batho kaofela ha re tshwane.
Eish.
Batho ha re tshwane, and then o mongwe o tlo nokwa story ka wena, then as believer the way, because ka mokgwa nyaka o feela ka wena, even though o mmontšhe mabaka or the fact or this is what happened. Kwenisto does not have authority no matter what. I can't. You have been on radio. If they gave you a song, those are the songs that we are going to play. There is no way compile Figizolo or Bomsha.
If I recall well, you played King.
Who? I played.
I don't know what happened. Can you explain, man?
We were three in the studio. We were three in the studio.
Yeah.
I was not even on the desk. I'm not even the one who plays play.
Then wakuwa and all what?
Yes.
Hey, man, it must have been a very hurtful thing.
It still pains me even today. or I was accused of something that I don't even have a power in those things. They know very well. I don't know what motho ha robetse bošego o feel jwang a dirile ntho e so.
Ka nearly
Ba ba le
between,
peace.
nearly between Koshamang le Koshamang.
It was Kim Another's song and Master Cage's song.
And you were passionate about which song?
Who?
You. No, like personal passion.
No. It was not matter. It doesn't matter who I was passionate about.
Like, let's take Nalwena Duchi, our di camera. Kirmara, when I know do more win, man.
The one who deserves to win. The one who deserves to win.
Yeah.
And I don't know
Kada win the man that year.
who name.
Who in the man that year? The song of the year.
Which song played.
Yeah, which song played?
It's a skeleton move.
And you used to love it.
Yeah, I love all songs that Limpopo, Jedi Sharp.
You were passionate about it.
I love Limpopo music. I listen to Limpopo music.
You were passionate about skeleton music.
I'm passionate about any song in the province that is doing well.
No.
I've got my own taste.
You used to play it live on Facebook. That song.
I played everyone's song. Not only Master K.
You loved that song.
I loved every song that I played.
No, man, I get. You know, I feel like, you know, the unfairness of radio is that when you are no longer needed or no someone with power no longer needs you, there's nothing you'll do to save yourself. Especially that there's this also dynamic ya renewal every year, which I think it's one of the draconic contracts ever, or that design, honestly, whereby you don't know, like, you know, your career can end in April, just like that. And you have to do your work, of course, suck up enough, make sure you don't step on anybody's feet because of you can be surprised
Yeah.
by just being moved like that.
Exactly.
But I also feel that radio, even now, the radio we have now, it's that thing that your job, you're not sure. When you no longer need it, utovai.
And it affects the production on air because now you are not happy because you are always stressed. You always think, am I doing well? Do they love me?
Eish.
Yeah? You always ask yourself, and that affects your production on air. Everything, because now you don't know whether tomorrow you are coming back or not. So you are always scared. So, and then when you present, you are on air every day, you are always scared to say, I might lose this. You are not you won't be productive.
Who was the progress manager
I was Florina Sebola,
and the station manager?
Moshonga Matsela. Yeah.
And kind of who does the firing, the programs?
Who?
Who fires people?
The one who hired them.
That's the programs manager. Eh?
The one, SABC has got HR.
No. Remember, HR
Yeah.
gets recommendations and approval from a station manager together with the programs manager. Unless if I'm getting it wrong.
But there is a powers.
I understand, but
Yeah.
without the approval of the programs manager,
Yeah.
because you can't be on my program if I don't want you.
No, maybe it's a
Osa
collective.
muchaba mna le no.
Maybe it's a collective.
Osa lekwa, the programs manager
Yeah.
ukubile.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not the programs manager who fired me. I was not fired.
Okay, what happened?
My contract was not renewed. I was not fired. I was never fired
Yeah.
at Tobel.
Yeah, but I get the sense. In fact, I still feel that Tobela FM should give you a chance, man. Again, I still feel that you are the material, not only because of what or sympathy or what. I think you are the material for it because the neck presenters are few with the skill, the right skill. Ke feel like you know, somebody as I'm talking right now can really relook at this thing and give you a chance again. And I mean, ke SABC ya modimo bana, ke SABC ya mmusho. You know, people need to forget what could have happened in the past and everything, and give other people a chance. And I was happy to see people like what DJ's Boo coming in. I mean, those committed one of the biggest crimes. I mean, in a way, Pela, what he did there, he stole millions from the SABC by advertising more fire. That is serious crime. But for someone, a boy from Moleji who is passionate about skeleton music, to be persecuted like that. And Kim Munata song.
Utoseka wena. Kena Jodi kule. Utoseka. That's why ufayile ku Capricorn. Udiyelo tani nje kumoya. That's why ufayile.
And Kim Munata song, but yeah. Hey, but I know, man, it's really painful. But now I wish, ne? I don't know if you still have those ambitions, but I wish you can go back.
But then, if I'll go back to SABC, I'll go back at the right time.
The right time.
Yeah, at the right time. I think that people who are still hurt by whatever happened, yeah, and you can't blame them. People have got different, way of seeing things, and we don't understand things the same way. And to be honest, till to this day, with so many years of Khaolangwa, people don't know what happens before Khaolangwa. There are people who believe 12, you are going to get chellaed. To this day. That's why banana or no, and there is zero money. No one get paid. You are fighting for something aina like a value. So if we don't educate our people, while we have got platforms that we can teach our listeners towards the year, remind people what is Ukhaolangwa.
Fine, you were not fired. Your contract wasn't renewed. Do you think the reason your contract was not renewed was because of the song, or you being in the studio at that time?
I think they decided that I'm not part of the future plans. I think so.
And
I don't, because they didn't tell me those reasons.
But it has
I
to
don't
do,
want to.
It has to do with the song.
I don't know, because they didn't give me the reasons. Remember, if you you are a player, it's a certain team. They will tell you, or you are no longer fitting into the coach's system. I don't know the reasons, because they didn't tell me. I was not given the reasons. They just said, thank you for your services, and we wish you all the best for future endeavors. And yeah, I'm not the first one not to get a contract renewed. But because it happened after that storm, people will always.
But one thing I want to appreciate about SABC radio, they are very consistent in retaining talent. They stay with their people, and for a long time. It's one place where you can even retire there. But I also feel that when they want to get rid of you, they'll get rid of you. And I think you'll agree with me.
I've never experienced that.
Shem, ngwana o sa le tshaba batho ba SABC ba nna mo hiring ke a le khopela ba wishang talent ke.
No, I respect SABC.
And o tlo bua le matla, o na le following, o hodile, is mature now. Yeah, na khopela SABC el theleditse ke khopela le fe Kwenisto chance ke a khopela ke le rapela ko mongwa rena le gore o tlo dia dilo tse le gore ke dia dilo tse le gore ke dilo tsa botse. And nna ke a khopela banna bitjang Kwenisto a boeng radiong mo swareleng, and then le making sure gore hey le new year le ska mmea ka mo studiong le ska mmea ka mo studiong before 12 ngwana batho a show yeah
oh yeah, no bolelo tse di so Capricorn FM. That's it, man.
Capricorn FM, I was fired for a tweet.
Oh.
Social media to bolaisha.
Yeah.
Lena kopelo wale wel coffee. It all bolaisha.
Yeah.
Because I tweeted, I still remember, Metro FM is doing very good for its in-house DJs, something like that. Talking about that fact, they announce where the DJs are going. DJ Joss, East London, Manuela, Cape Town. It's really good to assist that. And so I commented about it. And that was enough. No. I was out of line. And
You
then
were out of line. But
the charge was I'm bringing the organization into disrepute. And I think I was bringing the organization into disrepute.
You were, but there was no damage. Why are we quick to fire people?
My man, Nalo and I think we should agree about one thing. If they don't want
Why?
you, if they don't want you,
Oh,
you're not going to
Brahman,
stay.
You spoke, it didn't affect the revenue. Do we have any evidence?
No, but it brought the organization into disrepute.
How?
I don't know.
You're praising, you're in the same industry. The
Yeah.
red tapes and
Yeah.
that's why there are some rules that we found in radio.
Yeah.
Aye, they
Mara
don't
go
make
khopela tšeo wena
sense.
te khopelele gape. O
Ono
bua ko
go- ono go bala ke- wena-
Ke rate khopelele o bua ko SABC.
Ma,
Oe.
why?
Ha o je go te khopelela?
Foying. If SABC,
Lebelela camera o te khopelele.
if SABC ba sa ntlhoka, they know me. We meet every day.
Yeah, mara-
at events, and or else, but advertiser mmereko ka apply just like any other one. Ke tla apply. It poso di culture like anyone.
E re
But ya gore
SABC
ke
ke khopela le
ya gore ke tšee platform ye so ke gopele ba SABC, I'm at disadvantage other kids. They deserve their fair chance as well.
You think this world is fair?
Look,
Kwenisto.
a re tshwane. E re go botsa Cappuccino.
Do you know how many people you have avoided their calls for the past 2 weeks and you took mine?
E re go botsa gore what?
Is this worth, it's not fair, yeah. Kwenisto, my
But
point
in a
is
world,
that,
in a world
my
where
point-
people, in a world where people are not fair,
my point is
be
that
one of the few who's fair.
you are a seasoned presenter. Experience. Now you are even mature. You are not the Kwenisto 10 years ago. There's many things that you can put into perspective, even into your content. I was listening to you not long ago, Mo Energy FM. I was like, listen to this boy who is now a man, who grew up in radio. And I'm saying that there's still a role that you can play that goes with the programming of the SABC. If we leave emotions and all these vendettas away, you deserve to be there. Not because of Kwenisto, you don't even know where I live. I already brass. I'm saying it because I've been following you and following your work, following the way you attack links. I've been following even when you attack matters that affect us as a community. Because of, we can talk about one thing as presenters, but the way we handle it, you could see that, man, this man is ready. So, believe me, after Bauko, Basari knew, I wouldn't vouch for you. I'm vouching for you now because I think you are relevant.
I don't know.
Ikgopele.
Thank you for
Ikgopele mo.
for the confidence and the love you nang le yona.
How you go kopela, but?
So, but advertiser get la apply.
No, I see. Then after SABC, obviously, you didn't do radio for a few months, ne?
Yeah, for 3 months.
And where did you go after?
I was called to come and be the station manager of Unisa Radio in Pretoria. So that's why I was given 1 year. But when COVID came, then it just exploded.
Do everything.
Yeah. So COVID really messed things up, because my responsibility was to restructure the radio station and to make sure.
What happened to the station now?
I think it is still there, but people moved, those who knew I was there, because after the contract expired, there was no longer anything happening there because everyone was home. No one was allowed on premises. So it closed, and then we had to. Now the contract is not renewed because there's nothing to renew, because there's no longer a radio station there.
But what do you think about the future of radio?
The future of radio, it is still bright, but if we don't counterattack the social media, it will be the end of radio. We need to find ways, Cappuccino, to say what is relevant right now. The way we're doing radio, are we doing radio ka nako e re e dirang, ka nako ya yona, or we are 2 years back. You cannot be running a radio station now without social media. You don't even have an in-house graphic designer. That's how you are not serious, because now everything is graphic. Now everything is
And
visuals.
it's here.
It's here. You release a post and not top a picture. You are not serious. You are not stepping into the time of this radio. You are still behind. Radio stations right now, they should be having someone who's called an influencer of the radio station. Not that this person is on air. But you hire her just to be the face. Now people want to see the face of the radio. Who's the radio? Who's Tobela? Who's Mongana? Who's Energy? We need to see, is Energy a youthful young person? Who is Energy? You get my point? So if you don't have an influencer by right now in the radio station, you don't even have a qualified graphic designer like Capital, you are not serious about radio. Because radio is graphics. Radio, people want to see something. If Lydia Sebokuboku, what happened to Sebokuboku? We want to see Rena Barber, so on. That's how you connect with your radio station. Visuals, graphics, that's the way to go.
So you think the strategy should be now to have a link with social media, because that's where people are going. Because the more people develop economically and start to have access to data, have smartphones. No one has, Kale, we would sit in the villages with our radio, rebia battery mo letsatsing e charger later on so that we can listen. But now things have changed.
Things have changed.
Once re kwana di tlhoro tshwara di phone so.
There is Netflix, there is Showmax. Those platforms are taking away people. And then you still want to show me Bophelo ke Semphego. You are not relevant. Give me the content you know. People want to see something fresh ideas. But
So you think radio is showing Bophelo ke Semphego?
I'm saying some radio stations are still behind. They're not catching the.
Showing Bophelo ke Semphego.
I'm just giving an example to say.
I'm agreeing with you. Why are we fighting?
Why you go personalize dilo? Why? You go personalize dilo?
No, I think, Prof, we need to have bouncers. One day, get over it. This man is fighting.
This guy is personalizing everything. You go vampire everywhere. I give a rig, Prague. I give you go high, so I span.
Then you went to an internet radio station, isn't it?
Yeah, Motion Sense. Before I could go to, that's why I'm not even counting it, because I think the person, they didn't understand what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think he was just excited because there's good equipment and everything. It was not something that I can count on my CV and say I'm proud of now.
Yeah, but at least it kept you on your toes.
Yeah, there
Prepare
and
for
there.
the show.
Not that, but just that if you don't have a vision, Thomas, this podcast, you had a vision. You knew what kind of content you want. And then you knew which people to interview.
I knew I must get the wounded and the fired.
Exactly. The likes of yourself. As a present.
Bakubiwa.
Mukubiwa interview Mukubiwa. Yeah, ne?
Then after Motion Sense, you went to Energy FM.
UNISA.
UNISA.
Yeah, UNISA. Then I came back for Limpopo TV.
What was happening there?
Manyeki nyoso. Non-so fela. What else you na go phelo bana? Nonsense.
You know, that's one chapter, man.
Man. That one, I still feel like cappuccino. Aragang ra sokola. Mara skala dlala ka re.
Eish.
Arana next, arana dizaka, regaino. Mara please, when you call Kwenisto, you say Kwenisto, let's work on. Be transparent. Be honest. You are playing with the future. Jabana babatu. People had to leave whatever they were doing to come.
Oh, faba to hope, ne? o fa batho ba basadi hope o ba ja
What nonsense is that?
o fetsa fela then you just discard them like that. That's what our people are doing.
Our black people are using their power wrongly. They're using their power wrongly. And get the very same people who were marching in 1976, those who are actually gatekeeping us now. They know the pain of being said, but one of the very same people who know our pain. Ba rile le bona dikolong ba tswa ntshokolo ya rena ke bona ba linka kwa di-officing today ba tswaletse menyako and they know you are capable of this. It's because it's you. They rather go and find somebody else whole or they're the very same thing we did. They know you are a genius in that thing, but they won't come. Black people have sort of power. You watch TV. You watch TV now. Channel O. Check those channels. Channel O, working. 320, 321, about Trace Libong Africa. Check those things. The people who are making decisions in most of those people are Zulu people. 10 minutes ago, never. Never. You check those channels.
That's why you will rather fight for skeleton music.
Limpopo music, we must fight for it. There is no way we can have Tom Hour, but we don't have Bolo House Hour on TV.
Yes.
Tom is no longer relevant.
Yeah.
We are more relevant.
We don't
Where
have,
is Nashebe's
we don't
hour?
have Le Compo. Happen that's a force. That's a
Exactly.
we're having a new category on Limpopo Music Awards this year.
Exactly.
Best Le Compo.
Exactly.
Because that's us. You can't it defines who we are and it's a I mean you can't go to an event lately and not want to hear such songs.
Someone who's still hating on Shebe. People are embracing their Tira there. Tira was accused lately. Did you see people coming and defending him? Are the people of Arabo?
Let's even talk about I think we'll talk about Shebe, but I want us to talk about the Energy FM Jenny Fest.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was nice. It was grateful. I was so grateful to be part of it. But I thought I was going to be there for a year. Then,
How many years did you do?
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to recharge, but I felt like the first day was nice. And then even the management were happy when they called me. Yes. And then they said, no, we're happy with the work. And then we think we can improve 1, 2, 3. So
Yes.
then I was there for another year. So, yeah.
But you disappeared. I think you left in December.
I could contract for December. So, about for January.
Your contract wasn't renewed.
My contract. It was, we agreed.
Don't tell me you were fired again.
I was not fired. How do you fire someone who's not in a contract?
Okay.
So, I didn't come back this year.
They didn't offer you another contract.
What's what? Yeah, tabaine JFM Joan. So, you know, when let's say you have a girlfriend, future. You know, at some point, this relationship is going to collapse.
Mara,
Before,
this girlfriend, wa
Yeah,
diaparo, wa clean, wa do everything.
yeah. But you say, for the sake of peace, let's separate. Before, when you could announce the
Upakile.
news. Before you could announce the news.
O tshwere package e nngwe le nngwe.
So, before Moja, and now Abuja wena pele.
Are,
Aksa unyaka. Usala wana uyu bocha ngwanyana hore o motlhala.
yeah.
Before you could utter no emanyana, I think we should break up.
A bone hore o tlo motlhala wena.
I don't think Ubo no jwang. But you had those intentions as well to say I'm not coming back. I don't think you understand.
I do. What you are saying is that Energy FM no longer had plans for you. And then you decided before they tell you that, you tell them that.
Yeah.
Wena ko wena mosadi wa o paka.
Whatever way you put it, doesn't make change.
But how do you know that they never wanted you?
No, we agreed. We negotiate contract every year. So one by one we were called. Then
Or they never called you?
they called me. They sat down with me, and then they said, "No, we do next year. We are not renewing."
Then they fired you.
No, I'm not fired. I was not in a contract. How do you get fired when you are not in a contract?
That is a radio firing, that one.
Effing.
You're not able, that happened.
Well, either way. What's one?
Hey man, I'm sorry, man.
Sorry for what? Sorry for any.
I'm just saying I'm sorry.
For any cappuccino.
We're going through a lot, man.
Ah.
We fired you from TEF, SABC, UNIS, Motion Net, Energy FM. And then I'm going to fire you from the studio. Before we leave here, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I must fire you.
You must fire me.
Yes.
No. Let's hope your studio won't be in fire. That's why.
Hey man, no, I understand that, man.
Yeah.
Eish. Now that I know how cruel radio can be, I also know how cruel radio can make people be.
Yeah.
Nice people who can change because they're in a position of power to decide on the future. Sabato. You understand?
Yeah, but then, sometimes, this thing out to the politics into radio. I think it's very wrong, We can't be politicizing radio.
What about the Juan?
They come. If you are cappuccino, let me say, MEC, Mabota, arate cappuccino.
Ahora the mayor.
Arate mayor, arate mama. And I get advertiser more and I will roll my annual bill. You can advertiser more when. Either most of your revenue income.
Oh, you took a link to address some situation of agriculture. Now MEC of agriculture
doesn't like you anymore.
And tells them.
And I advertise you.
I don't like this boy.
I don't like this boy. So politicians are playing a role in our radio stations.
In our programming.
Yeah. They say something that we are coming back. They run at night. They don't even sleep. The Q7. You are still staying in an RDP house. Everything.
Producer, please Google a leader who's driving a Q7 before Mtua Club.
No, there's no leader of Q7. I'm just giving an example. Or Mutagaruna mansion.
Yeah.
Maratsunya kwena regular polo na sagao. Ana na ruwa tsoga o tlo mo feta mo tseleng.
Our gatelela.
Our gatelela. So ga submit your boss.
No, but you raised something very important that when our programming and Lord who stays a controller someone from outside who has other intentions, it's really wrong.
O kopana le motho somewhere a o botsa future ya gago. A o botsa what is going to happen.
A politician.
No. Not even a politician. You meet Cappuccino ko Mall of the North. I'm just giving an example. Or
example.
Example. Hanti. Okay. O kopana le Cappuccino. Cappuccino how do you make show botsa gore Eman, happy ko le ba move from this show to this show.
Yeah.
Motho a bereke ko radio station eo. A bereke radio station mo payroll. Oh, botsa rona o dia show yeso. Ka dikai. Mama wa move wa ya kae kae. E ba announce di be exactly that way. Tsara ga batho ba discuss a future tsa rena le batho ga bo bona ba. How about Mudi?
We're going to have to look for another place.
But we
are going to move. There are people who are having power. But we are still here. We are waiting for the day.
Cake mara enough for every one of us. Problem kuru muthu ni kutwela cake ya ka gare. Abona ka re ya gago in a vanilla engine di dilo ka recipe one. We are going to get a piece.
Na se re tloejo sokola. Ebile o ka re o ka be wa ba le 3 years re sa kubiwe re kwa botlhoko. Re nya go kubiwa. But besides that, Kwenisto.
Yeah.
Man, you've always had this love for Shebeshit. Before I knew there's a Shebe shit. Before I knew or heard a song, ya Shebe shit, you were talking about this boy. Shebe, 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 Shebe. What is your attachment? What happened? Why did you get drawn to the talented young man?
I think now I'm called to come and defend those who might suffer what I've suffered. I don't want them to go through the pain industry.
Victimized. You were victimized.
Exactly.
At
I don't want them
SABC,
to go
yeah.
through because I will never wish anyone to feel the pain. So every time I see talent that is being attacked,
SABC victimized you.
no, but
Let's pass. I we have explain.
Victimized what?
It's someone now rebel.
What's the product Gatekeeping FM now? So you see a talent which is growing, which is coming. You want to block it. Add the negativity. We can't allow that. So Shebe came with a different style, which people were not comfortable with. But it was only sensitive because it was sung in our language. But they've been the fans, Chabo Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, twack, whatever.
They've been
They've been singing with these lyrics.
doing things to girls and
They've been
singing, drinking Hennessy and all these
exactly.
things.
When did that be done by
Gaspade.
us? Gaspedi. Gore motho a ka se tlo bolela ka go tshweka le sheta. On our platforms. But we idolize Lil Wayne le Mama.
Phone ya ya disturb and a overrake mona. Asur ba o nyaka.
Maybe I'm going to hear. Maybe yeah, I know one. What do you call it?
Oh, kubili.
What do you call it?
Pa nyaka go go.
Ka mora le dikoloto. O bona tsa go sa di bolele. Ona le ditaba le wena. Re bone mangwalo a kitima mo. Mara a seng ke re bolele.
Sheriff o tla. O tla ka le sheriff o tla.
That's why also mo cappuccino bona ba itaba ba Peter Coffee. Ana le di issues. Mara na re di do re homotse. Or ga rena di podcast maybe. But it's fine.
You are coming. You are coming. It would be nice to have you in our channel, and it's going to be even bigger than any other.
Which content do you want?
Eh?
Which direction of content?
You. I just want you to be you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
So you saying, there are people who would just go out of their way by tsunya modilo, and then now people started to have problems with content. They are shebe.
Yeah.
And like it's doing what has always been done.
Exactly.
But in our language. Living a thug life.
Exactly.
I mean, we have seen that. And in most cases, these people, when you sit with them, you realize they're not even thugs
Exactly.
at all. Look at what 50 Cent portrayed. Fine, he was shot. How many bullets, I don't know. But you sit with that guy, they will tell you he's one reasonable hip-hop artist ever. Smart, calculative, good listener, strategist, and all that.
And a father at the end of the day.
And a father.
They've got families, these people. And you see this. Ge ke goletse ka lapeng la moruti ka kerekeng le motlang ka opela gospel ke tlo no bontsha gore ke na le church background and mara if ke twa strateng ke le motho wa strata ka opela hip hop ya ka tlo influence ke lo tshela ke di experience tsheng and people always think gore they are preaching those things. They're actually preaching against those things. If you listen to Kosha Shebe ya ke le butse ka mojolo ono ba a di bolela pepeneneng
Are ring.
o ba gamishitse ka bashimane ba chabile bona no ngwana ba le ngwana. You must listen to that song. In a message o lo re go ikathibela teenage pregnancy, but we are not willing to listen to the lyrics ja Shebe because Shebe can't teach us anything.
What exactly drew you to him? Besides, you are also fighting for the defenseless. Is it also the talent? Like where? Which part? Can you understand?
No, it is the way he was actually treated. Nothing that. Because he was banned to go TEF. There was a time when Shebe was banned to go TEF. But Shebe is not allowed to perform go Pela, go Sunset, go Dijon, go Shipping. I fought. And I said, it can never happen that our artists be banned. That is a system apartheid. Because those guys, when I asked them, why are you banning this guy? They were saying, every time Shebe I perform Mamutefo,
Kwa senye.
over case in Chicha rape. Oh, so now you want to blame Shebe? Shebe was not performing freely.
Kore o ka re Shebe o bonyedisa batho.
Exactly. Shebe ke Viagra. E Shebe a performa ko phela. Maphodisa nna ka mo ntle. Why? Why are they following him? What did he do?
Ba rona le power.
He's powerful. He's a powerful young man. He's a soldier. I can talk about that young man anytime. Because he is representing a lot of a boy child who was never given a chance.
And written off.
Written off.
Yeah.
And you don't know their backgrounds. Why alaka mokgwa le nka gona? I will tell story some fate. I was rutwa. No, that's why a boy child will always kill themselves. Even now, you already judge them. Or a pack shop, whatever. But those boys have got reasons. Sometimes because they have peace. They find peace because your mother is not contributing to the grocery. They've got a lot of stories. They've got reasons why we are school back. There is no peace at home. They don't have love. These boys, they're not given love. Because we are not used to tell a boy child, I love you. I love you. He's loaded. I love you as not challenged. The boys who hear I love you are the boys with money. Indo Damas. That's the only time you feel a boy child or rato. A rabele challenged. That's the only time they hear this love. Lerato a lego ko gae, lerato a lego ko strateng. E re hasla ba rat. Lerato a lego ko mjolong. You must have something as a boy child to obtain that love. It's not easy as a boy child.
Yeah, man. We wish Shebe a speedy recovery. We wish him to come back with a bang. Right. I think he's still very relevant to the industry, Molimpopo, and also South Africa.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Man, what are you working on, man? Update us. You know you have a brilliant program. I don't know why, whether you're not packaging it well or whether people are not willing to invest in it. That thing ile ya mpemutu.
Yeah. It was just a trend, man.
I know it was a trend, ne?
Yeah.
But I was seeing it as a big thing that we could see on TV. Bomzanzi Magic, where they can actually run with it and we facilitate this mpemutu thing.
It goes back to the people with power. In case then such kind of a program would have been brought into the mainstream.
Look at when yesterday I was, sorry to cut you, ne? I was waiting for Queen Mujaji. Then I was forced to watch 151.
Imagine.
Zulu content.
Why?
Zulu content until that thing. And you wonder out like, where's other content? Because we were having an interview, I was even thinking, this is when Pemot was supposed to come in, whereby we are even watching people wanting Istembu. A person anseta mahadi musadi analinye, maronyaka Stembu, uko backroom. But there is Pemot here, but was sokola ko midrend.
Akere bo matome le bo khashane ke bona ba leka kwa di officing jwale ba re ge re ka bitsa yo Kwenisto atadi anto ya mo TV ka re ka tla ra mo dira motho
Aska tsena.
Nyaka ngomongwe not this one. So ke ntwe re botsa morago nto tse di botsa re di appreciate, but I think maybe the show was just a resemblance of another shows, maybe on their platform, maybe. You know,
Or maybe it will get its chance.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
As much as we believe or the ideas are great, maybe one day someone will listen and then, yeah.
Any event you're working on?
I'm always doing my event. My Get Together. It's coming again this year, and I also wanted to continue with the boy-child mentorship. So we were really inspired by what Prince Wapitor is doing in Gauteng, and we think if we also can, Northwest,
Let's horizon it.
these young people, they need more mentorship, you know. They're making wrong decisions, and because we have been there, we don't want them to make the mistakes which we have made. So they must try by all means to avoid the mistakes Kwenisto and everyone who they are actually following. So as much as we experience this pain, we must share with them to say, to avoid this pain, do 1, 2, 3. So they need us. They need our mentorship. They need to hear these stories
Also to know how
from
to
their
deal with
boys.
it.
Yeah, but say or no. As a boy child, if I don't get the love, maybe if I can go to Quisto, I might find that warmth. People must always find warmth around you, especially a boy child, because he has been through a lot.
Man, Kwenisto, man, it's lovely to have you. And please, man, if there's anything you want to come share here, let us know. It would be nice to have you on our channel, but you'll be too big for us.
No, Nav. I always tell people that you see platform, don't despise any platform.
States Banda, it can work. No?
You know, so any platform, if it's going to make a change in the community, why not?
Yeah.
Because we are about change. We are about impacting our communities, and each and every platform you find, use it to better the next person. So if this platform can do that, I'm about that. Those are my principles. Those are my goals that I want to see in our young people. So,
Because I think your voice is still needed in South Africa, in our communities, and especially the village battles, village crisis. I think your voice is still needed there to jack people up, as you are putting it. And, you know, we spoke, I mean, this interview that we're having here is emanating from discussions
yeah.
that we have. We would really like to see, even if it's not necessarily about our channel, but how do we keep the voice going? We know that when you sneeze on social media, I've seen that sometimes you just even post one word.
It's no longer there now.
You guys are playing with power.
It's no longer there now because these people, they've reported my account, so it has got issues. It doesn't reach as many people as it used to.
They nipped it.
I don't know whether they decreased the reach or what, but some people, I have them, but they don't see me anymore. I don't know what's happening. So, but I think it's more about the bans that I've been getting. So people will report something. I remember this other time someone wanted to working or adopt Tangwana. And I butchered the process, and I was asking on behalf of somebody reported that thing, and then it said I'm practicing adoption without
Child trafficking and
child
stuff.
trafficking. So people will report such things. So yeah,
You only had one account, Facebook.
I have one, but the other one I have it, but it's not.
Do you have a page?
I do have a page.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, well, I hope that is sorted out, but you need to write to SABC. I'm still traumatized.
SABC.
I'm still traumatized. If they put me in power now, in the first meeting, I would ask the managers, how can we get Kwenisto back?
You think those people didn't try those things?
No, I rate, but you know what? I'm glad that you're also doing something. And anyway, your fate is not necessarily with SABC. What I like about this life, you think and put your energy in closing someone. There's still other things that will work better for that particular person. So we're talking about it, but it's not the end. I mean, Kwenisto, a dynamic person like you is going far. Whether with SABC or not, you'll still do your thing. And now things have changed. If we face reality, radio listeners, we don't know where they're going across board. We don't know where they're going except these devices we have. So now we need to start positioning ourselves to occupy that space. And people like you have a voice there. And I think if you don't get a channel, a platform like this, And when we can do it, we'll be robbing ourselves and robbing South Africa. Many things that can actually come with it. We'll try. Right now, I think we are the most struggling podcast, but we are organized.
Yeah.
We're hoping to use that to be able to see how we can partner, how we can create channels and grow this big movement and be able to change people's lives from it. Because the whole thing is not for us to we want to make sure that someone grabs it. Here's a person who had nothing, who had 50 rands from Muleji, came to university, managed to complete, managed to make something, also managed to help other people. That's the story that we want in this channel. We wish you all the best and we really appreciate you coming. Kwenisto, we are hoping that in a few weeks' time, people are going to see you in a different light, also associated with us.
Thank you.
We also know that it's not a favor, you'll be doing us a favor if you accept to work with us.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you got what you got that can help you, especially from this dynamic man that we have in the studio. Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino by Son of Gezani.
Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino.